Yo guys, how are you doing? Today we're going to take a look at the top 10 Xbox 360 backwards compatible games you can play on your Xbox One and Xbox Series X. And I'm not gonna lie, Game Pass in combination with the backwards compatibility of 4 generations of Xbox games are what really sold me on the new Xbox. And the best Xbox generation was definitely the 360. Over the years, Xbox spawned some of the greatest games. But today we're going to take a look at the hidden gems. And not this one. Anyways, let's talk about the best Xbox 360 backwards compatible games. And as always, before we get started, grab yourself some pizza and a coffee, kick back and make yourself comfortable, and let's get the kick out of gaming. So, before we get started, let's discuss some of your favorite Xbox 360 games. Don John recommended Halo 3. It's by no means a hidden gem, but next to Ninja Gaiden, this is probably the game I played the most on my 360. From the single player to the co-op to the multiplayer, this game offered so much fun and is the peak of the Halo series. If you have the chance, grab yourself the Master Chief Collection. And with that said, it's time to boot up your Xbox and kick off this top 10 hidden gems list with Shadow Complex. In Shadow Complex we shoot and, most importantly, kick our way through this 2D side-scrolling action game, starting off as an average Joe trying to infiltrate a terrorist military complex to stop an evil conspiracy to overthrow the government. And over the span of the playtime we unlock pieces of an ultimate power suit that gives us new abilities which allow us in best Metroidvania style to explore previously locked paths. The action is well paced and there is plenty of different challenges to keep the gameplay fresh. The massive map, cool upgrades and addicting gameplay combined with the B-movie plot made Shadow Complex enjoyable from start to finish. But if you need an action game with more suspense and high tension, then give Condemned 1 a try. As a detective down on our luck with a case gone horribly wrong, it's our mission to hunt down a serial killer and solve a citywide conspiracy, one bare knuckle punch at a time. Condemned is quite a unique survival horror first-person shooter brawler, and the perfect break from the standard FPSs, making our way through the sinister bomb-infested back alleys to fighting junkies in the rundown subway, and in between combining gadgets to inspect crime scenes. This makes for a great and unique mix of gameplay elements. The combat can be a bit clunky, but Condemned makes up for its shortcoming with an extra dose of creepy atmosphere. Condemned is an enjoyable and creepy experience at the same time that should satisfy both survival horror and first-person shooter fans. The next game on this list has a kick-ass soundtrack and addicting hardcore gameplay. Hardcore's Uprising. Once the intro kicks in, this game really takes off. There is something about e-guitar riffs and non-stop Contra-style action that speaks to me deep inside. This is how to make a 2D side-scrolling action game. Hardcore's Uprising is a game that delivers exactly what it promises. It isn't going to be for everyone, but for those who appreciate the challenge of old school gaming, it's a must buy. But keep in mind, this game is really difficult. After each death, I want to smash Konami headfirst into a toilet for stop making awesome games like Hardcore's Uprising. Next up we have another great game for a mandatory yearly replay, Fallout New Vegas. Since this is free with Game Pass, I thought, why don't I replay this on Xbox for once? And oh boy, that weekend was over quickly. Not only is New Vegas one of the best Fallout games out there, it also has spot on humor and a shit ton of fun side quests. You get totally lost in this desert wasteland. And what makes Fallout New Vegas so great is the choice and consequence system. Help out the dude to take revenge for his missing wife, and he becomes your companion for the rest of the game. Or take a shortcut and blame a random NPC, and walk the rest of the game without him. It's up to you, and that's the awesome thing about Fallout New Vegas. It really nails this feeling of total freedom in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. I highly recommend you take your time with New Vegas. Similar to Fallout 3 and 4, you can just roam the wasteland and stumble into the coolest missions. There is so much to discover in this world. And if one trip to Vegas isn't enough for you, then check out Dead Rising 2. Killing hordes of zombies with a huge variety of improvised weaponry in Fortune City never gets old. It's a great game to just mess around, smashing zombie heads in and duking it out with nutjob psychopaths. There can be hundreds of brain-dead walkers on screen, so our best bet is to chainsaw paddle our way through the zombie apocalypse. Dead Rising 2's biggest strength lies in its variety of both story and side missions. There is never a shortage of things to do in this game, and the co-op ability makes this a trip you can take several times with a friend. Dead Rising 1 was my first Xbox 360 game, and Dead Rising 2 is the perfect sequel. Doing everything bigger and better. This game gets me hooked every time. I start a new playthrough and easily sink in 3 to 4 hours into every play session without noticing. There is something about the gameplay loop in the Dead Rising games that just makes you want to keep playing late into the night. Another game that I couldn't stop playing in the last 10 years is Burnout Revenge. Sometimes I just want to push the pedal to the max and crash into an intersection for maximum points. And Burnout Revenge is one of my favorite games to do exactly that and unwind. It's such an easy pick up and play game. Select the race from the menu and jump straight into the action. Make a few races, have a good time. A simple yet perfect arcade racer. Burnout Revenge was the last good Burnout game. Something about the open world approach of Paradise never sat right with me, and Revenge was the peak of high octane action driven racing games. The reason I'm still playing Burnout 3 and Revenge more than 10 years after their releases is the amount of event variety. This is still impressive. What I'm trying to say here is give this hidden gem a chance. And would you kindly play the next game on this list as well? Bioshock. Let me ask you a question. Aren't we gamers entitled to a next level shooter experience? No, says the man at EA. Play the same game every year. No, says the man at Epic. Play Fortnite every day. But I rejected those answers. Instead, I choose to play Bioshock again on my Xbox. Because Bioshock is different, it's more of a sandbox. We get a combination of weapons, powers, interactive environments, tonics, weapon upgrades, and we are free to run wild in every encounter. Want to use lightning to electrocute enemies? Or hack a turret, kick back and watch the show? It's up to you. This freedom of choice is what makes Bioshock so great, and makes it fun to replay every time. But the best is yet to come. The story and setting are unique and crafted with the extra care to details. From the environmental storytelling to the insane characters, Bioshock is going the extra mile. The atmosphere is second to none, and it has a perfect balance of action and exploration, one of the defining shooters of last gen. And with that said, we are going to kick off our top 3 spots on this list with Prey 2006. We are starting this game as a knockoff Turok with an alcohol problem. And as if it isn't hard enough to be a struggling Native American, you get abducted by freaking aliens too. But that's when the Son of Stone knockoff comes into his own and finally snaps. Prey 2006 is one of the most underrated shooters of the Xbox 360 era, and a hidden gem for sure. Because from the surprising beginning at the rundown local bar to the final pretty intense and tear-jerking moments, It's one unique roller coaster ride. Prey is going places, dark places, and it isn't afraid of taking you along the ride. Not only was Prey one of the most innovative shooters, it's also one of the most fun ones with a great storyline to keep the action moving forward. I would say this is one of the finest examples of 3D shooters from the Xbox 360 generation, and one of the biggest hidden gems. Highly recommended if you haven't played it yet. This game was hidden in the shadows for way too long. And talking about hiding in the shadows, the second place on this list is Splinter Cell Conviction. This unapologetic, over-the-top action approach to the beloved stealth franchise didn't please all Sam Fisher fans, but damn, the more action-focused gameplay of Conviction totally sold me. When Sam went full Doomslayer in the first QTE and smashed this Konami employee headfirst into a toilet, I was all in. And by the end of it, I proverbially got the kick out of this game. While the environments and levels are limited, we are free to choose our approach to every encounter. Use stealth, hand to hand, or go in guns blazing. Or my favorite, a mix of all of them. Exactly how I like to play my games. Along the way, Sam drops a few of the most badass one-liners I ever heard.
It's gonna change the way people look at you.
They don't make him like this anymore. I recommend one of the higher difficulty levels to get the most out of this experience. And oh, look at that, the Ghost Recon Future Soldier beta is online. What a great time to be alive. Especially since you can play the first place on this list. Ninja Gaiden 2. This is what backwards compatibility was made for. Ninja Gaiden 2 was a bit too ambitious for the 360. The staircase level was like a pressure test for the OG Xbox 360. Fast forward freaking 13 years in the future and we are finally be able to fully enjoy Ninja Gaiden 2 in all its glory. The upscaled graphics look amazing and the gameplay is hyper fast and bloody challenging. I may sound like a broken record, but would you kindly play Ninja Gaiden 2 on your Xbox? It's on Game Pass right now, so there is no excuse. This is still one of the most awesome and challenging hack and slash games out there. And with that said, I end my video. I hope you guys found some new and awesome games on this list. Or maybe finally dig out some of your Xbox 360 games to play on current gen. Let me know which Xbox 360 game is your favorite in the comments down below. And as always, kick the like button, sharing is caring, and subscribe. But most importantly, have a great day and get the kick out of gaming. Before we get started, grab yourself some pizza and a coffee, kick